Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Learn and Grow with me. So our today's topic is threat intelligence feed. So a SOC team should be immediately aware of the latest threats, definitely, which are occurring and how to take the necessary remediations and mitigation steps and precautions to avoid those. To meet this need, threat intelligence feeds are created. So as a SOC analyst, you can use these feeds to guide your investigation. So this is a data such as malware hashes, command and control, domain or IP addresses, etc., which is provided by a third party company. So we provide threat intelligence feeds. As being SOC analyst, we should be aware of the latest threats and how to take those necessary precautions. So this is the data, for instance, malware hashes, command and control domain or IP addresses, which is provided by a third party company. So looking at this Intel page, you can see many types of data. See, data is hash, IP. The data here consists of some artifacts from the previous malicious activities. So this could be the hash of malware or the IP address of a command and control center, right? From where actually the commands are getting controlled. As a SOC analyst, you need to search threat intelligence feeds to determine if this hash file at hand has ever been used in a malicious scenario in the past. So free and popular sources, you can use Talos Intelligence and VirusTotal. Important points to highlight is if data you run through feeds does not show up. Let's say you ran a file hash of .exe in VirusTotal. If data you run through feeds does not show up, let's say you ran a hash of .exe in VirusTotal, okay, and in the past you didn't find anything suspicious about it. In this case, you should not assume that file is clean. That would be a mistake. A SOC analyst should carefully perform the necessary file analysis, whether it is static or dynamic. We shouldn't forget that IP addresses can change hands. For instance, let's say an attacker created a server on AWS and उसने उस सर्वर को as a command and control center use करा. Then various threat intelligence feed listed that IP addresses as a malicious address. 2 months later, attacker shut down that server and someone else moved their personal blog to that particular server. This does not mean that people who visited the blog were exposed to malicious content. The fact is that IP has been used for malicious purposes in the past does not mean that it now also contains malicious content, right? So this is the threat intel sheet.
Threat Intel tutorial. Threat Intel aggregates various threat intelligence sources, displaying indicators of compromise like malicious IPs, domains, hashes, and URLs. Click Select Filters to customize your search.
Let's select any filter.
To narrow down your search, you can filter the IOCs by type, such as IP addresses, domains, or file hashes. You can also filter by date range or tag. Type in the suspicious IP address, website, or URL in the search bar. Here, you can see that the malicious IP address is labeled as C2 and async.rat. In Threat Intel, you can search for any IOCs you discovered during the alert investigation. Welcome to the Threat Intel tutorial.
What is the data source of this hash on the threat intel page? Okay. Practice, threat intel, and the data source. Is abuse ch. Right? I didn't mark complete here. Abuse ch, submit. Next. So, what are the common mistakes which are made by the SOC analyst? Is this lecture completed? Let me first check that. No, the progress is not yet done. WCH. The progress is not getting recorded. I'll see that next away. Yeah, done. Like everyone else, SOC analyst also makes mistakes. So we'll discuss some common mistakes which are made by the SOC analyst and how you should avoid making them yourself. You should not overly rely on virus total results. Hasty analysis of malware in a sandbox. Okay. Inadequate log analysis definitely, and overlooking virus total dates. It is recommended that you review this lesson after you have completed the previous lessons. Obviously, we have done that. Over reliance on virus total results. Sometimes we can rely on the result displayed on virus total's green screen after analyzing a file's URL and see that the address is harmless. However, there is a new malicious software developed using an antivirus bypass technique that may not be detected by virus total. So we should accept virus total as a supporting tool, and we should also perform our analysis with this in mind. Hasty analysis of malware in a sandbox. A 3 to 4 minute analysis in a sandbox environment may not always yield good results because malware might not be able to detect a sandbox environment and it will not activate itself. Okay. Sorry, malware might be able to detect that it is a sandbox environment and it can bypass that and it will not be able to activate, and it may not be active for 10 to 15 minutes after the operation is performed. So the duration should be kept as long as possible and it should take place in a real environment if possible. Inadequate log analysis is occasionally we see that some log analysis is not performed properly. Let's say that a piece of malware has been detected on a machine with this host name. Host name was LetsDefend. वहाँ पे एक malware detect हुआ. That malware is secretly sending that data to this address, right? This IP. As a SOC analyst, you should use log management solutions to determine if any other device is also attempting to connect to this address or not, right? Rather than missing that point. एक तो हो गया कि आपने उस डिवाइस पे भी देख लिया, अब आप दूसरे पे भी देखो कि आपके नेटवर्क में कोई और डिवाइस तो नहीं है जो उसी आईपी या उसी एड्रेस को डेटा भेज रहा है. Overlooking virus total dates, if the search performed in virus total has already been queried, a result from the cache will be displayed. For example, we search this address in virus total and the result is shown below. And an attacker could simply search a clean URL on virus total and replace it with malicious content. And this is why you should not just look at the search cache but also conduct a new search. Okay. This lesson covered common mistakes by SOC and how to avoid them. Don't forget to revisit this section from time to time to refresh your memory. Now, let's go to the next section. Okay, nice. Now let's start the quiz. What type of SOC team does not have its own facility and often works remotely in different locations? That was virtual SOC. Great. I am responsible for connecting security products. We have to connect security products. So my job title is security engineer. Great. Moving on. What is SOC, Security Operations Center? Which tool is most important for a SOC analyst? TDR, log management, SIM, much more. Which type of SOC model corresponds to the following definitions? Consists of internal SOC person working with an external MSSP, that is co-managed SOC. Which SOC position corresponds to the following definitions? A team member whose purpose is to find vulnerabilities before the attacker can exploit them in an attack. So they are threat hunter. What is the goal of a SIM? SIM's goal is to provide the real-time logging of events in an environment. Which LetsDefend page is the SIM? SIM is a monitoring page. What is an EDR? Software that provides network-wide visibility that combine managed solutions and incident. A software that monitors the terminals and not the information system network. Right? Terminals are the endpoints. What are the different steps of the life cycle of for the NIST of an incident? Analyze, evaluate, treat, monitoring, and reviewing the risk. Okay, I'm sorry. The answer was preparation, detection, containment, and then post event activity. No, my bad. What can be used to conduct an analysis with SOAR? Playbooks. Which information do you not have in the threat intelligence feed? स्कोर है कि वो कितना इन्फेक्टेड है, डेटा टाइप होती है, डेटा का सोर्स होता है, a sample या score, I guess a sample of the infected file. Nice. Which is a common mistake for the SOC analyst? Insufficient log analysis. Yeah. So we got all correct except for one whose correct answer was preparation, then detection, then eradication and recovery, and then what is the post-event activity. Okay. So we'll discuss the other sections in the next video. Thank you. Keep watching this and let's learn together. Thank you.